Hi everyone, welcome. We're going to talk about some Google Sheets and add-ons this time around. This is for your tips and tricks, and a couple things that we're going to do are just going to be informational. A couple things are going to be very technical. So I'm going to get to the informational things first, and then we'll try to use those within the other technical things that we're going to do. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go get a couple add-ons. So let's go to Get Add-ons, and you're going to type in Power Tools, maybe. And here they are. Here's your power tools. You're going to add those to your list. And then you're also going to include, you're going to type in Template Vault. And you're going to add that as well. Okay, and we're going to do a couple things with that. So after you've added those and you've hit allow and you've put them in there, you go back to add-ons, and we're going to go to the Template Vault first. We're going to browse templates. And in here you have, just like we did in Word, you have a few things that you can choose from. I'm going to go to Savings and Retirement because that seems to be something popular for a lot of you educators out there. And let's go ahead and open the Retirement Savings Calculator. All right, so within that Retirement Savings Calculator, you're going to copy it to Google Drive so you can use it. And then you're going to open File. And here we are. So this is going to be for fun. I don't want you to put, if you want to use real numbers on your own time, that's fine. I just want you to have fun with this for now. So if you want to use a different template and you want to demonstrate your ability to use a different template, that's fine. This just happens to be the one that I'm using. If you want to go along with me, you can. So for fun, to show me you know how to use the template, go ahead and plug some information in here about your current age, retirement age, whatever the case may be. And again, if you don't want to tell me, make it up. I don't care if you can have fun with it. Use your kids if you want to and see what their retirement might be someday. So go ahead and plug some information in here. Let's see. I'm going to put this in, and let's pretend that I can retire at 55. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? And oh, there goes my savings plan interest earned, total invested. Let's do a lump sum of let's do 25,000. Let's try that. And let's say we can make an annual deposit of 2,000. And then my years to pay, 20 looks good. Savings plan 1 is going to get 4%. Savings plan 2 is going to get 6%. Savings plan 3 is going to get 5%. That's nice. If you wanted to change those, you could obviously go in and change your percentage. Let's say we get 7 here, and 3 and 3. And look how much that changes. Look how much interest you can earn on those. That's rough. But needless to say, if you wanted to hide that table to the right, you could. We don't need to worry about that. So my years to retirement, my interest earned, and my future value. So that's for savings plan 1. Looks like I'll have 152,496, so forth and so on down the line. It shows your balance and your growth as you go. And how handy is this template? It's going to break down all my individual payments and interest that I would accrue, and the deposits that I would make. So this is just one example of one of the templates that we can use to make things really effective in here. So something else I wanted to show you to go along with your templates, and you can explore the other templates. Please pick one, and I'm going to have you share one back to me. But one of the other things that we added in our add-ons was the power tools. And so if you'll go to power tools and hit start and put it to the right of this, I'm going to show you just a couple things with this. We're not going to get real in depth. If you want to go further, you'll have to check out my advanced class when we get to that point, okay? But a couple things in here. You've got a change case option like we had in Word. That's pretty handy. So like, let's say if I wanted to make my savings plans entries all caps to give it a little more importance, I could. There we go. I'd like you to find something to turn to all caps. In fact, now that bothers me, so now I got to change all of these items to all caps. So now that I've got my items to all caps, I'm going to move on to another option over here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now that we know how to uppercase is we're going to play with the randomize scenario. It was found over here with the dice, and we're going to go to the random generator, and you've got integers, real, boolean, so forth and so on. I'm going to use real numbers here, and we're going to plug some decimals in, and we want to go 0.1 looks good, and we're going to go to 0.1, or I'm sorry, 0.01 to 0.1, maybe. There we go. And what I've got selected over here are 5%, 7%, 3%, and I'm going to generate random percentages to see if we can look at other options. So the random generator is going to change these percentages, and just to see what the different numbers would do without having to retype them in each one at a time. We're going to do this all at once. So here we go with our randomness. So now we can see, and we can just keep clicking it, and it'll continue to generate random numbers that we can see. So 628 and so forth and so on. So you can see how that can be kind of beneficial if you're trying to find some random options to see how that would impact your investment. And these numbers down here are changing as well. And you can scroll down and look at more numbers too. So that's kind of nice to, in a financial situation especially, to have some random numbers generated to see what changes we would make would affect our investment and how much interest we could possibly earn. So that's one of the handy tools in here. You could use the random generator for a lot of things. Maybe you're going to make a group of kids with their names, or you have an attendance sheet in Excel or Sheets already, and you can randomize the order in which they are. That's kind of a handy tool. Okay, so going back to another one of the power tools, I know we did change case a minute ago, but there's also a text feature that includes more options. So yeah, the change case was in here, but I want to show you some other features like add text by position. So let's say I want to add the year 2018 to the savings plan entries, and this is going to be for my entries for 2018. So I'm going to click on the box where the text was entered, savings plan entries, and over here where it says add the following selected text or text to the cells, I'm going to type in the 2018, and I'm going to put at the end, I'm going to put it at the end here, and we're going to hit run, and let's see what that looks like. All right, looks good. Let's say I also wanted it at the beginning. Maybe I didn't like it at the end, I wanted to see it at the beginning instead, or maybe I want it on both sides. Well, just click at the beginning, hit run, and there you go. You have it at the beginning and at the end. Right now it is set to after a character number of 1, so like 1 space, it'll put it 1 space after if you select that. Really all I wanted you to see, or wanted you to be able to do, I'm going to add a space there, so it adds a space. I wanted you to see that you could just add in information in between or in front of or behind text right there. So I'm going to expect you to try this when we get to the final option here, when we look at how to use our Epic rubric. Okay, unless you can do it in here in your template. Either one's fine, but I'm going to expect you to do it in some place. Okay. The other thing you can do besides adding text by position and changing case, you can replace symbols. So if you want to do symbols with codes, and they show you an example here, e.g. and to AMP and AMP, or replace codes with symbols. Again, it's talking about converting some things. You can do that. Also, like accented characters, like if you get some foreign language in there and you want it to be back to English side or English style, you can do that as well. I'm not going to ask you to replace symbols in this one particularly. I just wanted to show you that feature's there. The last thing you can do is polish some text, so you can remove extra spaces if you think they exist. You can add space after punctuation marks, and you can use sentence case to clean up any words that you might have typed together but you didn't do it like cleanly, and this will fix it for you. Okay. Those three things, again, I'm just showing you they're there. Don't need to do it because, I mean, it's one of those things that's hard to show. You either type the sentence or you didn't type the sentence, okay? Excuse me. So that's the text style. A couple other things we're going to talk about. You can split some cells. You can split values by characters, and this lets you go even more in detail because you can do it text to columns with a space, a line break, a comma, semicolon. You can split values if you want to. So there's a few options in here as far as splitting information or values is concerned. Again, this is one of those things that if you do it, it'll be hard for me to see. I'm just trying to share this with you to let you know. Okay, so I'm going to go back. The clear option is another pretty self-explanatory scenario. If you want to clear anything, this is an easy way to clear a lot of things at once. Maybe you want to clear all. I like the clear hyperlink scenario when I paste some stuff in and I want to use it, but I don't want the hyperlinks to come with it. That's really handy for me. So I thought I'd show you that as well. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is the convert. And this is where you can convert numbers to text or text to numbers. And this really applies when you're wanting to do some information and then you go and select it and you want it to just remain as text, a number as text. Sometimes it'll try to read it as a formula and you don't want it to. So that's when that occurs. These are pretty handy to keep those the way they are. Also, that you can convert number signs, which is a handy little tool where you can go negative to positive and positive to negative. That's kind of handy, especially if you're a math person. But again, not going to expect you to do these because that's something you could just do and say you did. So it's just informational. Okay. So there were a couple things in there that I wanted you to do, like converting like regular caps to all caps, and doing a number generator, a random generator. So if you use this template, I can see that. I can see that you changed the numbers because the numbers were a predetermined amount when we first started this scenario. So if you use a number generator, a random generator to do that as well, that's great. That's really what I want to see. The other items you may or may not be able to show me, and I'm not going to lose sleep over that. I just wanted you to be aware that there are cool tools out here called power tools that you can utilize to do more than just the basic tools in the toolbar over here. Okay. So the last thing we're going to do with the sheets today is a pretty complicated process. So I'm going to actually end this video, and you're going to share your template, and it'll be understood. I'll look for the change in caps and those things, but you're going to share this template video or the template that you've made with me through one of your classrooms or your communities, and then, excuse me, goodness, we're going to go to the epic rubric scenario, and I'm going to make a whole separate video for that because it's a little bit more involved. All right, thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed this. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. We'll move on to the next piece.